Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I've got an article from Daily Hodl in this video. Take a look at the headline. Ripple and XRP caught in crossfire. What? Brad Garlinghouse says Libra backlash has him worried. Dun, dun, dun. What could that be? So I'm going to cover that. I got a couple tweets for you here. And the last piece that I will be covering in this video right here is from CoinDesk, titled CFTC Chair Says Ether Futures Likely in 2020. This is fascinating to me because what's coming next? XRP futures, perhaps? Let's talk about it. Now, before we get going, if you would please delicately tap that like button. Don't get all smashy with it, because here on the Moon Lambo channel, if you break it, you buy it. I'm sorry, that's tough love. You break that button from smashing it, you are liable. Tough love, but it comes from a good place in my heart. Let's jump into this first piece here now. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is offering his take on Facebook's Libra. At a summit in Menlo Park, California, hosted by The Information, Garlinghouse said he thinks Facebook was too brash in the big reveal of its Libra white paper. And here's a quote from Mr. Brad Garlinghouse. "I think that the way they approached it demonstrated, frankly, from my point of view, arrogance in how they rolled it out. I think Facebook did not appreciate the trust deficit they had." Yeah, indeed they did not. I think, in my mind, truer words have never been spoken. I got to, so this is a fun little fact for you. The first time I ever posted a video about Facebook Libra, so I'm sure it was the day that it was officially announced and I covered it, I was not ready for the comments that were about to hit up the comment section of that particular video I put out. It was comment after comment after comment, just bashing, and I don't blame you guys at all for doing this, but just bashing Facebook, talking about how you don't have trust, you don't want to touch that platform with a 10-foot pole. I got it. And some of you feel very strongly about it, and rightfully so. So again, I want to be clear, like, I get it. Like, I fully get it. I technically have Facebook, I never use the damn thing. And so I hadn't really thought about it, and I don't have really strong feelings on it as a result, but I don't blame anybody that has strong feelings for it. So again, I don't think that Facebook fully understood to what degree they had really ruined consumer confidence in their particular platform. I think that's fair to say, right? The regulatory backlash against Libra in the United States and around the world has Garlinghouse concerned that governments may begin to take a harsher stance on crypto and blockchain technology in the world of payments. And here's another quote from him. "Now, I worry, am I going to get caught in the crossfire?" Right? But perhaps, I mean, there's an article about you here, so I'd say perhaps to some degree this is going to get noticed, which is fair. Anyway, the piece continues. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Stripe, eBay, and Mercado Pago all dropped their support for Libra this month. It's also true, though, that I can't remember if it cited it in this article or not. But anyway, ultimately, entities did sign on fairly recently. I covered that as well. It's just so those ones actually did drop off. But in terms of getting caught in the crossfire, like there are all sorts of tribal crypto community members out there, whether it's Bitcoin maximalists or just pick your tribal crypto community, and absolutely XRP and Ripple full on a target regardless. So the fact that Brad Garlinghouse said what he said about Libra, I mean, okay, so I would bring on wrath from additional people that have different motives outside of crypto, or specifically at Facebook, like to what end, and is it going to actually matter? It's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to hurt anything, but I get what Brad is saying. It does make sense. I understand why he said that. Anyway, despite the setbacks, Facebook's head of blockchain, David Marcus, tells Yahoo Finance the project is absolutely not in jeopardy. Here's a quote now, from David Marcus. "You really have to, as a member, have passion and energy and fortitude to go through this, because it's hard. And it's going to continue being hard. If anything, it's going to get harder before it gets easier. We're fleshing out all of the regulatory requirements and oversight required for this to operate, but nothing has changed." And then the piece continues. "Back in July, Garlinghouse highlighted the differences between Ripple and Libra on CNBC's Squawk Box." You gotta love this. Garlinghouse says Ripple's approach is centered on helping banks move money across borders, while Facebook's Libra Association has 0 banks on board. And check out this quote now. There is a huge opportunity to change the way the world financial systems work that is very beneficial to consumers, businesses, etc. But again, it's not competing with the banks. David Marcus came out when he announced Libra and said, "This spells the end of Western Union." That was a huge call to action to the banks around the world that had been watching big tech players that they're fearful are going to come into this space. And that's absolutely true. Talk about a call to action. Now, fascinating, this ended up being something of a little bit of a catalyst, to some degree at least, for Ripple. Because they had customers that they were having trouble closing that they had been talking to for some time, just, potential customers in the sales pipeline. And after Libra was announced, they were calling up Ripple, and Ripple they had like the best sales day that they had ever had in the history of their company, thanks to this. Or maybe it was the best sales week. I can't remember what was cited, but a very short period, maybe it was a week after Libra was announced. Thumbs up, Ripple was doing quite well. So, kind of worked out for them. All roses for Ripple. Check out this tweet now. Pomp tweeted this out, and then Frecky responded to tagging me, which is why I want to cover it. So check this out, okay? So Anthony Pompliano, co-founder of Morgan Creek Digital, massive Twitter audience of, how many followers does he have now? 285,000. That is impressive. Important message as we enter the next Bitcoin bull market. He's got seven points here. Number 1, Bitcoin is very volatile. 2, you can lose all of your money. 3, only invest what is okay to lose. 4, Twitter is not investment advice. And by the way, neither is the Moon Lambo channel. You should have put that in there for me. Anyway. And then number 5, don't buy Bitcoin with credit cards. And I want to comment on that just briefly. I'm not going to pretend like I'm your father or something like that. But if you're going to buy cryptocurrencies, if you're going to use a credit card, you best be the type that pays off your credit cards every single month. Because if you're going to take on debt to speculate with this, what's a typical credit card APR? Percentage rate? Was it I know it can vary from card to card, but what's normal? Like 16, 17, 18%? Some of them are like 20. That's freaking nuts. If you're going to buy this with a credit card for any reason, I think it would behoove you, that's a good word to use, try and use that in your daily vernacular. Go ahead and pay off your balances every single month if you're going to do that. Otherwise, that seems like a pretty terrible idea. Anyway, just in my opinion, no, I ain't your father, ain't your pappy. Number 6 here, keep low time preference. 7, do your own research. And I cannot tell you just how important that is. Like the value of doing your own research is indeed tremendous. That's what I did, and that's how I became such an ardent supporter of XRP and the XRP community, because it makes some damn sense. It's the only cryptocurrency being used in the commercial production of anything. So anyway, Frecky responded to this. Wrote, disclosure, Bitcoin going to the moon, and XRP going to Titan, which is Saturn's moon, and tagged me. So thank you very much, Frecky. I do appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, good sir. I got this next piece from XRP Crypto Wolf. Thank you very much for sending these really tasty tidbits of information to my inbox every day. And this piece is titled, CFTC Chair Says Ether Futures Likely in 2020. Commodity Futures Trading Commission CFTC Chairman Heath Tarbert believes the crypto world will see Ethereum futures contracts sometime in 2020. Speaking at Georgetown University in a fireside chat during the first day of DC FinTech Week, Tarbert told moderator Chris Brummer that he absolutely believes Ether futures could trade in the next 6 to 12 months. You gotta love fireside chat. It just invokes this really lovely imagery. Perhaps you're sitting by the fire, camping in the evening, and toasting some marshmallows for some s'mores. Thank you, Fireside Chat. Here's a quote. I'd say it is likely that you would see a futures contract in the next 6 months to a year, he told Brummer. Though he cautioned that simply launching a futures contract isn't the be-all and end-all. He went on to add, quote, the volume to which it'll trade, no idea. That's where the markets decide. But my guess is now that we provided at least a little bit more clarity on Ether's eligibility for futures contracts, my guess is market participants will consider that, which is a reasonable concept to me, I'm just saying. Tarbert first declared Ether a commodity earlier this month, announcing that his agency would be willing to approve futures contracts on the world's second largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization. So I want to say this. So yes, additional clarity is there, and it makes sense perhaps that there would be Ethereum futures at some point in the future, perhaps in 2020. This is all fine to speculate about and reasonable. As it pertains to XRP, is that indeed the case then that as there's additional clarity in the United States around XRP's classification? Because look, of course, it is not a security. It's absurd to think that XRP could possibly be a security, but if the SEC comes out and claims, indeed, no, idiot stick, XRP of course is not, and that's how I should say it too when they announce it. Hey, idiot sticks out there, XRP is not a security. If that happens, I hope they announce it. Would that then perhaps make it possible for XRP to proceed in a similar fashion? Some people in the XRP community, maybe they're right, maybe they're not, I don't know. Some speculate that the SEC will never speak on XRP. I just don't know if that's accurate. I don't know why they're holding off, but some say that the SEC just by and large isn't going to want to speak on every coin. But look, to me, it could not be more clear. And for the most egregious instances of scam coins and businesses selling what are clearly securities, frequently coming in the form of ICOs, they get shut down. I've reported on that recently. So how is it that XRP being sold by Ripple, Ripple being one of the most visible companies in all of blockchain, how is it that they haven't been shut down if they're indeed selling securities? Because they're not. I don't know what the holdup is, but there's got to be some clarity in the future. Anyway, that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say are right. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!